Gifts of love with dread, bringing love for you this year. Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with dread.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with joy.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Rich, smooth, delicious, and packed with vitamins that could only be one thing. It's Rika Almond Beverage. Great on its own or a lovely addition to smoothies. So call Superb Distributors on 435-2948 or visit us at Tempe St. George's today. Remember, Rika is life and life is Rika.
Alrighty, family. So welcome to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson. And yes, we are coming to you live from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean. That is Grenada. And we have it all for you. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. And of course, for the first time viewers, hello to you. And those of you who are always here, we say hello to you. It is always a pleasure to see all the familiar faces, all the familiar names. It's become like a routine right now for us to come together, and so we appreciate you. This is our reality and you are part of it. All right, so welcome again, welcome. All right, so let's see what we're going to be talking about tonight. Tisera John is still missing. 365 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19. People who do self-tests should report their positive results, says the Ministry of Health. Also, they say that you should avoid contracting the COVID-19 because of the unknown. You do not know how it's going to affect your body now and how it's going to affect your body later. We're going to talk about that. Another death, according to reports from COVID-19. We don't have the facts on that as yet, but we've heard from a source, and we are hoping to get some more confirmation on that. Of course, that will be done once we receive our dashboard tonight. COVID it loses its 50% of its ability to infect after 10 seconds in office study. All right, after in office A, according to a study, sorry. And of course, we have more to tell you about, but that lets you know the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Courts Grenada Limited, Digicel, Nawasa, the Housing Authority of Grenada, Real Value IGA Supermarket, Superb Distributors. Thank you very much, guys, for sponsoring our headlines. And again, all of you, welcome. For you out there, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credit, compliments, Digicel, and that person could be you. So go ahead and share the business. Family, we're taking a break and come back. And when we come back, it could be real news in Ole Lili Lolo. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
The Housing Authority offers products that people can choose from, products that people can access. And I think anyone looking to build, just call the Housing Authority of Grenada. The service was superb. Every step of the way, they collaborated with the owner, they collaborated with the builder. The builder himself was really good. For what I've seen them do, I have to say that from buildings they have done in the past to where they are now, they have come up to speed with modern trends, modern designs, and I think I will advise anybody to choose the Housing Authority of Grenada.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Okay, again, so we would like to say again, welcome to everyone who is currently tuned in to the program. All right, those of you who are outside of Grenada, wishing that you were here, because I know that there are some places that are really cold. Yeah, I've got my friends in New York and so on, and they're talking about how cold it is. Yeah, we envy all it down here because we have it for we cold too. So when I say we are experiencing temperatures like 22 and 21 degrees Celsius, they're like, oh, that all boiling for? But in the context of Grenada, yes, that's cold. We live in a warm climate, and that's what we are used to. It is almost like, let me see, when you turn on a light. So somebody's in a dark room for the whole day and they turn on the light. Yeah, it hurts their eyes. It's almost like they can't see. It's too much to bear for a while, because they are so accustomed to the darkness. Yeah? So that's a similar thing to us. That's what happens to us when we are so accustomed to the heat. When we end up with degrees such as 21 and 22, it's going to be cold. Yeah? So our 21 and our 22 is cold. Simple. All right? Good. And that's degrees Celsius, okay? All right. So we are moving on. How are we looking? So last night we were telling you about this young girl who is missing, and we have received information from the police again, and so we have no choice but to do it. All right. But I think I'm seeing a slight change in the name. All right. Tisera John, according to police, is still missing. All right. They are seeking your assistance in finding her. Tisera John, she's a 16-year-old student of Bonaire in St. Mark. Now, she left her home on Saturday, 8th January 2022, about 7 p.m. and has not returned since. All right. Now, she was last seen wearing a black and white dress. She's about 5 feet in height, slim built and brown in complexion. Anyone seen Tisera John or has any information about her whereabouts, you are asked to contact Victoria Police Station at 444-8424, Community Relations Department at 405-5324, Police Emergency at 911, Police Hotline 444-1958, or the nearest police station. Now, the reason why I'm uncomfortable about this is because usually once the individuals end up in the news, the following day they show up, because nobody wants this. Nobody wants it. It doesn't matter what's the situation at home. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Nobody wants this right here. So they would show up and they'll say, okay, let's try to see whatever it is, how we can resolve it. Yeah? But it's been quite a bit of days, and we've been talking about this, and we have not, or in some cases, sometimes maybe I need to check my messages, because also in some cases where there are prolonged bulletins about an individual, they would contact me directly, or someone on their behalf would contact me and say, well, hey, she said this or she said that or whatever the case is. I've not had that. I've not heard any of that with this particular case. So I get it, why the police is going to double down on this, because it's just weird that she's not returned since. She has not returned even after it's been circulating on the news for a couple of days. So we're going to do it again and say that she's still missing. And if you have any idea of her whereabouts, please contact the police. Yeah? Please contact the police, because the family members and so on, they are pretty concerned. All right? Yes, she's gone just a couple of days, but like I said, the trend, this one is going off trend just a little bit, and so we'll understand why people will become a bit uncomfortable about it. All right? So again, she's only 16 years old. All right? She was last seen on Saturday, 8th January, at around 7 p.m. All right? Again, she was last seen wearing a black and white dress. She's about 5 feet in height, thin built, and brown in complexion. So you can look out for her. Okay? We are moving on. Yeah, we all hope that she's okay. All right? And we'll return home tomorrow or tonight. 365 more persons tested positive for COVID-19, and that is according to the latest dashboard from the Ministry of Health. All right. There were just about 1,465 tests that were conducted. Okay, that was a test positivity of 24.9%. Right. The cumulative confirm. I can imagine some people hear me cough and they go dash it in it. It's okay. Calm down. It's okay. All right. The cumulative confirmed cases now rise to 8,966, of which there have been 5,957 recoveries. All right. Now the latest dashboard shows that there were 108 new recoveries, and we can expect more coming in tomorrow, even today. All right. And we're also hearing that there was one person who died today. But, yes, it's been circulating in the news. All right? But what I would rely on, usually I have to get it from two sources. All right? I got it from one source already. I contacted my other sources, and they were not able. Well, I didn't get them, but I'm gonna still, because the source is pretty reliable. But like I said, for information like that, my standard is two sources. All right, but according to one source, that person was an individual in their 60s, a woman in her 60s. All right. Who was admitted to hospital in St. Andrew, all right, and subsequently died. And we will await confirmation about that from today's dashboard, which we should receive in a couple of hours, if not in this hour. All right. Yeah, the numbers are climbing, and we are starting to hear more about hospitalizations. Even with the last dashboard, there were, I think, 8 hospitalizations. So again, we see that that's climbing too. That's climbing too. So anyway, what else can we tell you? No, there's a new trend that's developing here, which is the self-testing. So they are, I wish I had one with me. They have those self-testing kits that you can purchase now for around $45, $50. You follow the instructions. You shove it up a couple centimeters in your nose. You ring a rose. There's a pocket full of those, dash, they all fall down. You pull it out, put it in the thing, you test your sample. and it, in a matter of minutes, let's say around 15, it gives you a reading of positive or negative for COVID-19. So a lot of people are conducting those tests and they are not reporting the result, because to them, well, I'm positive already, I know I'm positive, let me what I have to do. So the chief medical officer, that's Dr. Sean Charles, he was asked about the whole home testing. You understand? And these were his comments.
If someone tests at home and they test positive, and that data is not reported to the Ministry of Health, then it simply means that we will not be able to report the accurate, a more accurate figure to the public about the extent to which the disease is affecting the country. So we will be undercounting. Now, additionally, if there are persons out there who are positive and they are moving around, these individuals are endangering the lives of everyone, right? And that's why we say, personal responsibility. Personal responsibility is the most important factor going forward as we continue to fight this disease, all right? Because we cannot reach into every home, we cannot reach into every corner of this country and, prevent persons from, encountering others who may be infected. We really rely on, individuals in the public to at least cooperate and to, I always say, be a brother's keeper. All right? Protect the people around you. All right? Act responsibly.
No, I do not want COVID. Right? Because we do know,
not
from COVID, but from other viruses.
Sorry, man. Thank you very much, Dr. Sean Charles, on that one. I'm responding to questions about the whole self-testing and people who are testing positive with those self-testing kits and are not reporting it. All right. As you were hearing from Dr. Mariana Charles, and now she's coming up next, she's saying that a lot of people are very nonchalant about COVID-19, particularly when they learn of the news that the Omicron variant is milder than previous variants of the virus. She says that at all costs, individuals should avoid contracting COVID-19 because we just do not know how our individual bodies, right? So forget about how it affects others, but we just do not know how our individual bodies will react immediately to the COVID-19 and importantly as well in the long term.
No, I do not want COVID, right? Because we do know, not from COVID, but from other viruses. Viruses do cause long-term complications. If you look at chikungunya, we still have people today who complain of arthritis or those symptoms, right? And when we look at other viruses, they are associated with a lot of, conditions and complications. For instance, one of the things that viruses are linked with are cancers. So we really don't know, as it relates to COVID-19 and as it relates to future symptoms that people may develop or experience or future complications. And that is why I urge everyone, to follow the public health protocols. Follow those protocols. These protocols is what prevent you from becoming infected. And we have to remember how COVID is transmitted. Right? So an important part of that is wearing our masks properly to cover our nose and our mouth, hand washing or sanitizing. These things are very, very important. Social distancing. I know at this point, we sound like a broken record, continuing to remind persons of those measures. But these measures are important. Protect yourself from COVID-19. Because the truth is, and I said this before, we really do not know how our body will react immediately, right, if we get COVID, or we do not know what sort of complications we may have in the future, right, if we get infected with COVID. So as much as possible, I am urging persons, right, to protect yourself from contracting the virus.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mariana Charles. And according to a study, the coronavirus loses about 50% of its ability to infect about 10 seconds after it becomes airborne in a typical office environment. Let me read that again. The coronavirus, according to a study, loses about 50% of its ability to infect about 10 seconds after it becomes airborne in a typical office environment. All right. Now, it says that people have been focused on poorly ventilated spaces and thinking about airborne transmission over meters or across the room. It says that I'm not saying that that doesn't happen, but I think still the greater risk of exposure is when you're close to someone. All right, when you move further away, not only in the aerosol diluted down, not only is the aerosol diluted down, there's also a less infectious virus because the virus has a loss in effectivity. All right. Sorry, it has lost infectivity, sorry, as a result of time. All right. So what they are saying that those are important information that people need to know as it relates to the COVID-19. Now, the Caribbean Public Health, and we're moving on, agency CARPHA has published its first report for 2022, all right, on the region's COVID-19 epidemiological situation. It shows that CARPHA member states, there have been 555,926 confirmed cases, 11,628 deaths, and that 3,395,142 individuals have been vaccinated. All right. However, it shows that the amount of confirmed cases in the Caribbean since the virus was first detected to be 2,528,904, with 29,846 deaths and 23,889,996 persons vaccinated. Now, as of January 9th this year, CARPHA says its medical microbiology laboratory has received 102,553 samples for testing from CARPHA member states. 24,457, which is 23.8% of which have tested positive since the start of the outbreak. Now we are moving on. The next thing that we have to tell you about, Grenada's Prime Minister, Dr. Kiefer Claudius Mitchell. Now he's saying that people should be judged based on their intention for service. And now he was responding to a comment that to a question from Johnson Richardson at yesterday's media engagement with the Prime Minister regarding the kind of reception Deacon Mitchell got from he himself, the Prime Minister, and other members. All right. He says that people shouldn't just be excited because somebody decided to enter into politics. They should be judged and voted for based on the individual's intentions and for their intentions for entry into politics. He says that it should be judged on their vision and actions in politics and intention for service.
No, the first point I really need to make, I did in fact congratulate the individual for his entry, and for entry and the NDC for looking to fresh blood. I did make that point, but the issue is not about the individual, you know, because the individual must stand on his own standing, whether it's 20 years, 40 years, 35 years. It's about his own standing. And if I'm a voter, I'm not voting for you because you say I'm coming into politics. I'm voting for you for what your intentions are for the entry into politics. I made the point earlier on. Some people get into politics, and I'm not saying the individual is that. So that is something that will be judged later. You can't judge him. I would not be excited if I'm an NDC person. I would say, yes, that's an opportunity. But I want to see your performance. I want to see your vision, and I also see your actions in politics. Johnson, I always make the point. And I tell people, even my own supporters, the only time you get to know an individual is when you give him power. That's been my experience. A lot of people talk nice, big speeches. They criticize everybody else in a position of power. You give them power and you see what they do with it. It's far worse than the person who was there before. So it's not about the entry about individual. It's about intentions for service, intention for service, for sacrifice, because it is a sacrificial job. Remember, it's not a job for those who want to feel that the niceties. And I mentioned the same point I'm making here now, I've made it earlier on. So it's not about individual, you know. I had to be judged based on my performance and hard work and commitment to service. And I assume everyone has to be judged on that basis.
That's Dr. Keith Mitchell. All right, so what we're going to do right now is invite you to share the program. Some of our little sharing the business. Or little sharing the business, because I know I've seen all the sharing the business. Listen, look here. Okay, anyway, on another note, there's an individual who reached out to us for help for her child who has a problem with his eyes. Now, that parent is a very young parent, and she has raised thousands of dollars to help her child. But time is running out on her to raise the remaining funds to get that child the medical attention that he needs. There's a surgery that's scheduled for a couple of days from now, and the family reached out to us asking if there's anything we can do to help with that. We do not help everybody who comes to us. We evaluate the situation, and then we decide whether or not we're going to go through with them. I think we should help her. Why? Because she's not one of the individuals who sat down and came with zero to the table and expected to be helped. She went ahead on her own, reached out to people and asked for assistance, and she got this far. The child had a problem, or has a problem with both eyes, and they were already, based on her raising her funds, they were able to do one eye, and now they need to do the operation on the other eye, and she's falling short a bit by a couple $1,000s. She has fallen short by, I think it's somewhere around $4,000. Yeah? And I'm thinking, we can help her. So I'm asking you, if there's anything that you can do to help her, you can reach out to me, and we will be glad to receive your donations. You can drop off your donations at WeFM Radio in St. George's. That's Cross Street, St. George's. Maybe put your name on an envelope and say, you know, what it's for. We'll be there anyway. We'll have somebody stationed there to collect your donations. Okay, so I'm asking if you can do that. That would be really, really, really good. We'll also like to update you on the situation with the two children that you helped recently in December, where both of them were able to get their surgeries done, and both surgeries were successful. I know one of the families have returned, and the other is still in the United States. One of the families called, and they were so grateful for your help. Would you imagine that these families they thought that there was no hope because they didn't think that they were able to raise the money within the amount of days that we required that money. We raised the money in one day. Over $6,000 to split between two families in one day. Yes? And that's how amazing Grenadians are. There are people who just heard the announcement and they just showed up. The lady said she come in town to buy something, and she heard the announcement on the radio about the child needing the money and just drop it off. She said she's going back home because this is more important. She'll get money somewhere else and some other time. And those donations went directly to them. And we are very transparent about what we do. The only thing that we don't do that's different from others is that we don't bring people on, to make everybody see, oh my God, that I hate that so much. Unless this is what they want. Unless they want to, unless they request that they want to, because one of the families said they wanted to come on to say thank you. We have not arranged fully as yet because of the whole COVID situation. All right. One of the families said they want to come on and say thank you. And okay, if that's your request, that's fine. But we will not be the one to ask you to do that. Because I think we should be able to help people without trying to get anything out of it. You understand? Without trying to make ourselves look good. And a lot of people do that kind of stuff, but we don't. And some people sometimes they say, Mikey, you almost talk more about what you're doing so that more people would help those initiatives. And I understand that too. You understand? A gentleman come the other day. Now remember, we were not asking for anything only we are now asking now. But prior to now, we were not asking for anything again because we already got what we needed for the two families. A man came last week. The man opened up a bar in Mont Long. Can't remember the name, but a new place in Mont Long. The man said, well, I opened up this bar and I was able to make some profit. And I know that you all usually help people. So I'm coming to give you $200 for the next person who needs help. I'm like, what? Really, partner? Say, yeah. You understand? Say, yeah, I can't remember the name of the place, but it's a new place in Mont Long. Man say, hold at $200. Just so. So we say thank you. So we're going to give that amount to that family too. We're going to add, So we have a start already. We have a start. You understand? And I think we had a couple of $100 that was left over from the other family. We're going to explain, and everyone help another. And that's how we do it. So we are asking you if you can help us to help them. All right? So you can contact me and we can arrange to accept those donations. All right? Yeah. All right. So we're moving. Yeah, boy. We're moving. All to go help, right? We should be able to raise that money between tonight and tomorrow. Yeah? We should. So that we organize ourselves. And I'm telling you, tonight so that we could arrange tomorrow and arrange with the young lady. All right? All right, family. Let me... and that's what I want to do, eh? One more thing. I want us to... So we have the Mikey Life Helping Hands Foundation, and that is basically a foundation that helps people in general. Sick people who might not be doing too well financially, and they have problems in being able to work. And so we help children, we help families, and we do all of that stuff. But before I die, with your help, I want us to start an organization that deals specifically with children, helping children who are either terminally ill or who are sick and needs urgent assistance so that they can continue living comfortably. Yeah? These initiatives that we do on the side are aimed at that, but I'd like for us to formalize it. Yeah? Formalize it so that we have a specific fund for that purpose, to help sick children. All right? So that's what we've been focusing on in recent times, more sick children. Think it easy? I see my son every day. If my son bruising knee, I feel like the world is going to end because it hurts. It doesn't only hurt him, it hurt me to see that he's hurting over something that's temporary as a bruised knee. And even when you give him like a smack on his hand because he's done something wrong, that hurts you too. It's almost like you want to cry because he's crying because you made him cry, but you want to cry too. Because there's this connection between you and your child. And would you imagine a child in a tender age have so many prospects and things that they're looking for towards a child with their friends and their family and all of that? And that being taken away from them slowly because of illness. because of certain ailments. It's like, yo, they don't deserve that. You know what I mean? They don't deserve it. Why them? Why this child? Yeah? They have their whole life ahead of them. Why? You understand? Why? And so that is why I think as a people, when we see these situations, we must do everything that we can to help take them out of that scenario. Everything that we can. And no amount of money would be too much to raise to save a child's life. I do not care who they are. You understand? Ah, boy. And so we have the dashboard. 293 new cases of COVID-19 recorded today. And the dashboard also confirms 1 additional death. Yeah? In terms of tests that were conducted, 1,508. New recoveries, 118. And so we're going to see that the new recoveries are going to continue to go upward. Yeah? So that's basically the information that we have here from the Ministry of Health. All right. So yes, we get confirmation of the new death. All right. So again, going back to the point, please help us to help them. Drop off your contributions to WeFM Radio, Cross Street in St. George's, or you can give me a call and we could arrange. Those of you in the diaspora, we could arrange for MoneyGram or Western Union or one of those, you know, and organize. So thank you very much in advance for your help with that. It's $4,000. I think it's very achievable between today and tomorrow. All right, so folks, let's take that break and we will return with the national report and the weather.
Gifts of love with Trend, bringing love for you this year. Communion showing that we care. With gifts of love with Trend.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care. With gifts of love with Trend.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114-232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
rich, smooth, delicious, and packed with vitamins that could only be one thing. It's Rika Almond Beverage. Great on its own or a lovely addition to smoothies. So call superb distributors on 435-2948 or visit us at Tempe St. George's today. Remember, Rika is life and life is Rika.
The Housing Authority offers products that people can choose from, products that people can access, and I think anyone looking to build, just call the Housing Authority of Grenada. The service was superb. Every step of the way, they collaborated with the owner, they collaborated with the builder. The builder himself was really good. For what I've seen them do, I have to say that from buildings they have done in the past to where they are now, they have come up to speed with modern trends, modern designs, and I think I will advise anybody to choose the Housing Authority of Grenada.
Well, that was easy. Getting what you want now. At Quartz, you can find appliances, electronics, and furniture that you need at the unbeatable prices. Save up to 20% off the essentials. Get it now with Ready Finance and get 2 months free. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Promotion runs till January 31st, 2022.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Prime Minister Mitchell calls on Grenadians to prepare for limited physical presence to mark key celebrations again this year. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back. With the details to the news for Thursday, January 13th, 2022, I am Sherry and Noel. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell says Grenadians should prepare for limited activities to mark key celebrations this year as the country continues to battle against COVID-19. Dr. Mitchell told members of the media on Wednesday that government and stakeholders will be limiting physical presence. He was responding to questions about the staging of carnival events in Carriacou in February. Grenada's last carnival celebration was held in 2019, before the detection of COVID cases in March 2020. Dr. Mitchell said if the country's hospitalization and death rates remain low and cases decline, Grenadians may be able to enjoy a limited form of activities.
I don't see how you can have the usual type of physical carnival celebrations in February. Now, the August celebration of the national activity might be different. Discussions have already started with stakeholders, and if the trend continues and we have less and less hospitalization and infection, if that trend continues, if it peaks and start going down, then we could look at a limited form of activity. But I doubt, without being able to project what will happen in August, that you will see the carnival celebration as it normally has been by August this year. Because I already said at the beginning, it appears that COVID-19 will be with us for a while.
He said since the ministry has been recording an increase in cases and the discovery of a new variant, major events held virtually have been successful.
Most of the independence activity will be, in fact, virtual. We just had the October 25th Thanksgiving, and the Conference of Churches and the religious community accepted and were part of the decision to have a virtual Thanksgiving. And to my mind, that it appears that most people understood and accepted this and participated in the way that they could. Independence is just a few months away for Thanksgiving, 3 months. And when we had Thanksgiving, remember, we didn't have Omicron, and the infection rate's extremely high since. So if you had virtual service in October, close to November, it would be difficult to see in an increased infection of COVID-19 that you will now have physical presence. So I think you will limit any physical activity, independence.
On Wednesday, the Ministry of Health recorded 365 new positive cases. This brings the total number of active cases to 2,808. To date, there are 108 recoveries. Moving along, as the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information awaits the latest recommendations from the Ministry of Health and Social Security on the next steps regarding the full return to school, the Chief Education Officer, Angela Finlay, says the turnout to schools for the week so far by both students and teachers has been mixed. Details in this report by Sarana Mitchell in the Ministry of Education.
Until we can have every child back in school, that's a concern.
That was Chief Education Officer Angela Finlay referring to the attendance of students since school reopened fully on Monday, January 10th.
While some schools are basically having over 80% attendance, you have some schools where it's the opposite, maybe as low as 20% for some schools. But for the majority of schools, though, the children who are expected to be there on a particular day, they are there. We have got school-specific plans, and those plans are basically pulling out from the cupboards the plans that were in place when the 6 feet distancing was enacted within the last two cycles that we had.
At the Anglican High School, Acting Principal Kim Paris says attendance has been more than 70%.
Since we started, attendance, I must say, it has been fairly good. It's above 70% on average per day. And for the most part, I think the children are happy to be back, the teachers likewise. I must say, compared to the last time we were out, this time around, they are adhering to the protocols, especially the wearing of the mask. We are still having some challenges with the 6 feet distance, but for wearing their mask and washing their hands and sanitizing, I must say that they are doing that, and we're happy that they're doing that.
Paris says they have opted to use devices in the classrooms to reduce the touching of too many books by students. And in the event that a student comes down with flu-like symptoms, a room has been set aside, which is in keeping with protocols provided by the ministry.
We have plans in place if we are to come back, like if more children are to come, then we'll have to abide by the guidelines that we are given. But if we are going to continue like this, we are going to continue with our same plan. The difference will be that we will rotate the children on different days, so that a Form 5, for example, that came in Wednesday to Friday this week, they would come in next week, Monday to Wednesday.
Okay, and what is your plan now? What is happening right now?
What is happening right now, we have 2 levels per day, and we are utilizing 2 classrooms to house 1 form.
At J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School, Acting Principal Laurel Bartholomew is reporting above average attendance.
Well, school opened officially the 3rd of January. We had the Form 5s returning to school, and we had 90 to 93% in attendance. It's a class of 38 students, and the numbers range within the 30s. While that happening, we had a remote teaching and learning for the Forms 1 to the Form 4. That too would have seen a bit of improvement in terms of the attendance, because we start off the day with assembly at 8 o'clock. So whether remotely or on site, we start with God. And then for this week, the Form 5s came in on Monday. We had a parent-teachers conference for the 2 days. That too, basically the attendance was good in terms of the students and the parents. And for Wednesday, actually, from Wednesday, we had varying forms coming in, all right, at least once for the week, and the attendance is looking good. We have a number of students that are unwell, all right, whether it's the flu or whether it is COVID positive, but that too is in communication.
Bartholomew says at this time, protocols are being followed if anyone falls ill while they await the handing over of a newly constructed sick bay at the school.
The vision of the school within this COVID era was a sought one, and I must say, and a big thank you to the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Work, that we now see the construction of what we call the sick bay room.
The principal of the St. George's Anglican Senior School, Nigel DeGale, is reporting a drop in attendance at his school, which houses grades 5 and 6 students.
Since the reopening last week, the numbers have been dropping. A bit, but not that significantly. To date, 25% of my staff are in quarantine. Yes, 2 out of 8 of them are COVID related. And about 13% of the students are absent because of the COVID again. They come from homes with cases of the Omicron variant, yeah. So, but we are coping well. We have a good turnout every day, despite the 2 teachers that are home and the children that are related to COVID and are at home working online. Well, we have the officers in front to identify them when they come. If they show any sign of, or symptoms, they'll be turned back. Because the parents, they work close with us. The parents don't really send children that are sick. Now and then one might, slip through. But we spot them and we send them back. And if during the day they develop symptoms, of course, we contact the parents and we follow the protocols and send them home. And we isolate them to the front in a room until the parents can get them. Yeah, so we have things in place for that, and it has been working well so far.
These are the views of some of the students we spoke with at the schools.
Are you happy to be back in school?
Yes.
Why?
Because I get to see my friends again and my teachers and do work. Most children are wearing their masks.
I'm very happy to be back in school because it gives me an opportunity to meet with my friends but also complete assignments because it's kind of harder at home. Online, yeah.
What about it online that make it harder?
It's just sometimes it's just connectivity, not being present, and you kind of miss a lot of information, and catch up is kind of hard to place.
I like face-to-face learning better than online, but the COVID cases are risky.
Because I could interact with my teacher, and when I'm online, I don't really focus as much as when I'm in face-to-face.
Because I like to be with my friends and I can understand teachers better and do my assignments. If I have a question, I can just go to the teacher.
On Friday, January 14, the Ministry of Education will be given the latest directive from the Ministry of Health and Social Security regarding the spread of the Omicron variant in the country. This will then guide decisions about the way in which the nation's children will continue to be taught. For the National Report, I am Sarana Mitchell.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Tantik! Tonga! Alright, big more say, moving out, let's move now. I took my best shot to keep Grenada moving. Driver, let's move.
A message from the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. The National Celebrations Committee is urging interested Calypsonians to participate in the 2022 Independence Calypso competition carded for the Kirani James Athletic Stadium 8 p.m. on Friday, February 4th. Adrian Mark, member of the National Celebrations Committee, who has responsibility for the competition, says like 2021, the competition will be held on a virtual stage. He says that decision is in keeping with the health protocols as the number of COVID-19 positive cases in Grenada continues to increase.
It was wonderful. The diaspora give their blessings and exclaim that Calypso is not dying in Grenada. To see it was an independence Calypso. Was not the national Calypso that we have during Carnival. And the diaspora exclaim that Calypso is not dying in Grenada based on what they see virtually. This year, we're going same vein. If we realize that the rising COVID, tremendous right now. So even though we had some thoughts that we will ask patrons to come and witness the show, no, I see it as a no-no. So we're going back just as what we did last year, virtual Calypso competition.
The Calypsonians are required to compose their contributions based on the 2022 Independence theme, Overcoming Our Adversity, Safeguarding Livelihoods, Protecting Our Future.
We're looking for about 20 songs for the preliminary round. The deadline for the songs that we submit on CD should be the 14th of January 2022. An announcement of the finalists, the 21st of January 2022. Out of the 20 songs in competition, we're hoping to select 9 to come up against Sean Niles, the reigning Calypso monarch. The date for the competition this year will be the 4th of February 2022. The venue slightly changed. Now we are using the Kirani James Athletic Stadium instead of the Cricket Stadium. And the time for it is 8 p.m.
There will be monetary prizes for the top 4 positions. The show will be streamed live on all GIS platforms and the National Celebrations Committee's Facebook page. And finally in the news, clinical and biomedical training will begin next week for doctors and nurses as well as biomed staff at the General Hospital. Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Carol McIntosh, says she is proud that Grenada will soon be able to offer a number of nephrology services for individuals who are in need of medical attention. 2 volunteer patients will undergo dialysis as part of the training. Dr. McIntosh made the comment during an interview with Information Officer Kevin Frederick on the weekly health program Next Chapter. She anticipates that the training will improve the delivery of service and, by extension, enhance the healthcare sector.
To be able to offer that is remarkable. It is remarkable. It's good, but then it's also sad too that we need to offer that because our diabetes and hypertension and all the things that lead to end-stage renal disease is out of control and we get to that point. So you want to have this point of preventative care to make sure we don't get to that point. Next week is when they do the clinical and the biomedical training, and that's hands-on, on-site. 5 days a week, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. 2 people are flying in to do that. They'll be working on the units as well as teaching in the classroom and providing the clinical services in our biomed. And within that, which is like, I want to do the praise dance, I want to get up and do like a little happy dance, is that we'll have 2 patients who will undergo dialysis as part of the training.
That's excellent.
That is excellent. Yeah. That is excellent. Still, we're not saying, okay, now everybody come in, because you still have to go through the process and work it up to that point. And like I said, in support with IHS.
She said training for maintenance of machinery will also be done.
For the dialysis, most definitely. For our hemodialysis, we have a project. The contract that we have is that we got the 5 units with service and maintenance. Okay. And it's to their advantage, the company's advantage, to make sure these units stay up and running. So they don't want it to go down because it's a problem. So they're coming in regular and they're coming in to train. So our biomed team, they're going to be trained and certified in the whole technical management of the hemodialysis units, as well as the peritoneal dialysis, because we're also going to provide that service. Our nurses and our doctors and our clinical will also be trained as well, because they need to understand the clinical aspect and the use of the dialysis units. That's part of the contract that we have with getting these units in.
The training is scheduled for next Thursday. And with that story, we come to the end of the National Report for Thursday, January 13th, 2022. Now for a recap of the top story. Prime Minister Mitchell calls on Grenadians to prepare for limited physical presence to mark key celebrations again this year. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sharian Noel, thanking you for viewing.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Sharian, and the rest of the GIS News team.
Here now for a look at the weather. It's expected to be generally fair and breezy with brief isolated early morning showers during partly cloudy spells. Now tonight's minimum temperature is expected to be about 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate with waves 2 to 4 feet in open waters. And high tide is expected to be about midnight tonight. For tomorrow, God's willing, we see that the weather is expected to be fair at first and breezy, increasing in cloudiness by evening with brief isolated showers. Sun is expected to rise at around 6:32 and set at 6:01. The temperature for tomorrow, the max 30.5 degrees Celsius and minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate with waves 2 to 5 feet in open waters. And that's our weather report for tonight and Friday. I want to say hello to the folks who are currently locked in on YouTube. Let's see some of the names who are currently there. We have Marsha Purcell. We have Miss Rose. Mom! Mom knows how to comment on YouTube now. Marina Caliste. We have Velma John. We have DJ Pope. Yeah, man. Big up yourself and everyone else on YouTube. Likewise, we'd also like to big up the people who are currently on Facebook. Yeah, Velma, Ventress, Patsy. What? We have Java, we have Shireen, we have Kirin, we have Allah. I want to say blessings to my brethren Archie. All right, we have Celine, we have Vicky, we have Chema, we have Ventress, we have Michelle and Mishi. We also have with us Ezra and Celine. We have Anne. Hi, Anne. Teresa, Brenda, Lintona, Yvonne. Blessings to you. Shamin and Paula. So Shum, I see that you're there as well. So blessings to you as well. And everyone else, Doris, Udine, and everyone else, thank you for watching. We'll touch base again tomorrow, right? Glenda, I see that you're there as well. And Joyous. Hey, Joyous, Wagwan. Timron, Alistair, Sharon, blessings to you too. All right, Rolanda and Kirin, all of you, blessings to all, all right? May God bless you and your family. So let's go. In 5, and even the names that I don't see come up here, like I just see Nesta pop up. So there are a lot of names I show. I'll try it, but at least your comment will come up later. All right, so blessings to you. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No! Take care.